Welcome back to today's discussion where we are looking at the executive functions and how they will help you as a parent connect better with your teenager, even as you learn how their brain is changing and developing and the patience that you need to help them pull through the adolescent period, which we know it goes up to the age of 25. So please remember to subscribe as we find this information helpful. So let's begin with the four remaining executive functions. We have the self-monitoring. As the name implies, it is the ability to evaluate one's own performance and behavior in real time. And sometimes for you as a parent, you may find that your teenager is doing something and they are making a mistake, but they are not stopping themselves to adjust the mistake that they have made. They are just continuing. And sometimes you tell them, can't you see that you're messing up and you're still continuing to do it? That is a portion of the brain still needs to develop that helps with self monitoring. So yes, sometimes they may go off track and they will not know. They will still continue and think they are doing the right thing. Or even, for example, they are in a crowd or even at home and they are talking too much and they will talk and they will talk, but they do not have that ability or to stop and just monitor and see how everyone is reacting to what they are saying and then keep quiet or adjust their words or what they are saying. So sometimes it is difficult for them to get to that point, and that's why you as a parent comes in to help them with that. After maybe such an event has happened, afterward you call them aside and you ask them, did you see how people reacted when you were talking and talking? Did you see that so and so was offended or they were bored or something like that? So that now as you continue on, you are coming in to support and helping them to learn this skill, even as you wait for that area of the brain to develop. As opposed to you after such an event where they talked too much, you come in and tell them, oh, you just keep talking and talking and you do not keep quiet, you don't know when to shut up. And sometimes for real, that teenager does not know or doesn't have the skill to stop themselves, or they did not know at that time I needed to stop. And that is how eventually they end up being loners, or they stay at home. They are just with their gadgets. If we as a parent, we continue telling them how they are failing in public because of one particular weakness, like that we were saying, of talking too much, or sometimes they don't understand why their friends do not like them, and it is because of that aspect. So you coming in and having that discussion, why do you think they don't like you? It's because I was talking too much and they were saying I was talking too much. Then now how you can help, instead of them saying that they don't think their friends like them, and then you saying, it's part of life, you'll get over it. No, it is you coming along and helping them to see if it is maybe the self-monitoring aspect that they are weak in. And sometimes they will also make careless mistakes as they go along, because ideally they are still not able to self-monitor themselves to that extent whereby I have made this small mistake, let me adjust and see how I can come back and correct as I go along. So if you notice that every time you have a challenge with your teenager or adolescent, because of that challenge, you need to help them to learn how to monitor themselves, and you come and ask them, have you checked how you've been doing the last 10 minutes? Learn how to stop every 10 minutes. If you can't even put a timer and tell them, you need to monitor how you're going along. So it is you how coming to help them. And when they do a task and you notice it wasn't to perfection, asking them, what could you have done better and adjusted in that aspect? So it is you now, you're teaching them how to monitor what they are doing in real time, and sometimes even later, as opposed to us coming in and just telling them, oh, you need to be more careful and all that. So I am hoping now we are seeing as a parent how sometimes we do not help our teenager to go through this period of which their brain is still lacking in those skills, as opposed to us now sometimes coming in with so many consequences because of how they are doing it, and us taking it personally, but yet it is an area of their brain that is still developing. Close to self-monitoring is task monitoring, of which we have mentioned, whereby it is the ability to track progress and quality of what you're doing. Because sometimes even for us as parents, we get so worked up because yes, they have said they have, and you've seen they have done it. washing the dishes, clearing their clothes, homework, whatever task is it is. But yet how they have done it is so shoddy, or they have done a poor quality kind of work. And then now you're wondering, why did you just finish doing it? You should have just left it. So now it is this part, you now coming in to understand that it is part of their brain regarding task monitoring that is still developing, that might cause them to produce poor quality work. And it is now you to come along and help them and teach them how to produce good quality work, instead of just giving them the consequences and tell them, don't help me next time if you are going to do it in this manner. So now it is you teaching them how to double check their work at every stage. And now you also breaking down the standard that you require and seeing if they are meeting that particular standard that you desire. And also here, parents, being careful not to give them a standard that is too extremely high, or even our standard that sometimes it is hard to reach. So we need to be careful and still remember that they are still young. And then teaching them how to ask themselves, am I still following the plan as it was laid out? And not just to start and work without stopping and saying, I was given this task. Am I still following that plan? Let me go back and check. Or let me call dad and mom and confirm that everything is still going on well. And when they call, please don't tell them, oh, I left you the instruction there. Why are you calling me? No. It is you now and helping them to see and support and what they are trying to do, just coming to hear that they are still continuing on with their task, they are still performing well. So yeah, this is where you need now to come and assist them in that light, and knowing when to forgive and when to give consequence. Whereby it is just them doing shoddy work because they can, versus it is their brain, that aspect of not being able to monitor their tasks, that now I need to forgive and now continue to teach them how to do it. The other executive function is goal-directed persistence. Goal-directed persistence, as the name implies, are they able to stay focused on a goal that they have set without distraction, without being frustrated, or how to continue, and even when setbacks arise? Are they able, even when they are frustrated, are they still able to keep going and achieve this goal? And why are they giving up? Before giving them consequences or dismissing them because they did not finish a certain task, come along and help them to see and check. Is it because they don't have this skill of persistency, of going on, that even as you perform a task, or if you have a certain goal, it will not be smooth all the way, that you'll meet some hurdles along the way? Have you taken your time to teach, so that now when they are giving up and say, oh, you cannot give up, or oh, you do not know how to stay on course, or why did you stop doing it? You know how much I provide for you and I give you, and then you're not continuing? Before we get, or even before we get to that point, just coming back and help them to understand, helping them yourself even to understand why they gave up instead of continuing on. And this is where now you come in and teach them how to celebrate small wins. Dear parent, just see and try and see something good that they have done, even if they stopped doing the goal, achieving the goal that you had for them. Teach them how to celebrate small wins that yes, we have this end goal that we have, but let us see what we have done now and celebrate that. Teaching them how to reflect on progress, because sometimes it is about the progress that has been made and even really not about the result. We need to get to that point of teaching them that, are you learning something as you go along? Yes, you did not get the result you want, but have you been learning? Have you stayed on course? Let us celebrate that. And then lastly, finding a way of connecting these small tasks or these small goals that they're having with the long-term goal that they care about. If you give them a goal, make sure that it is also something they care about. And if it does not directly show how much they should care about, find a way of connecting it back to who they are and the values that they have and who they will become as a person and how it is going to help them. So that now you teach them this persistency when they are continuing with activities and tasks and when they have goals. So reflect and see how you can come in and help your teenager in this light. And lastly, it is time management. And in time management, this involves estimating how long tasks will take and how you're going to prioritize them and how you will use that time wisely. So I know sometimes, or even most times, some of the challenges we have with our teenager is this time management thing. Why don't you manage your time well? We ask them a lot. You know, you had these 2 hours or the whole afternoon. Why didn't you manage it and find a way so that you're complete by the time I get home? So have we taken the time? Because chances are high in this period, while that part of the brain develops, they will tend to underestimate time, or they will get stuck in one activity, or they will try and do multiple tasks but they will do them poorly. So it is you now coming in and helping them to manage that time, and you will not only teach them once, you will teach them several times until they get it, or until now the brain catches up and it fully develops by the time they are maybe 25 years, and now they are able to perform that task well. So for you, now it is teaching them to use timers if it gets to that point. Sit down and set these timers with them and schedule them on calendars, and even if possible, use time blocking where they're able to block their time in chunks, so that they're able to perform tasks. If a particular thing is going to distract them, how are they going to work around it? Are they going to tell their friend, please don't come between 2 to 4, there's something I'll be doing? Is it switching off their phone? Is it making sure they have finished what they needed to do earlier or the day before, so that this afternoon they have blocked their time to do this particular task? So finding a way of blocking that time and being aware of this particular time I'm supposed to be doing a particular task. So it is you now. You see, as we finish the executive function, you will see that it is now you as a parent coming in and helping them to perform the various tasks that we have been seeing, that it requires you to sacrifice a lot and to be patient with your preteen and teenager until they get it, and to know when to forgive because it is a natural process that is going on, and when to use consequences because it is them being disobedient or disrespectful. So as we finish, I hope this has been helpful. And if you have any need or any information or any questions that you have, you can get in touch with me for training, for therapy for yourself, or even for your teenager. And so I'm hoping you will subscribe, and hoping to see you in the next video, where we will discuss even more about how to understand your preteen and teenager as they continue to grow.